Hello everybody and welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. My name is Shane Mickle and alongside me is Luis Martinez as we bring to you your Averett University women's soccer team here against the Bob Jones Bruins. It's going to be an exciting matchup here at Daly Field, Frank R. Campbell Stadium in a sunny Danville, Virginia, getting some of the rain out of here that was present this weekend. The Averett University Cougars are 1-2 so far this season, as the Bob Jones University Bruins are 2-0-2 coming into this matchup. The Averett University Cougars are coming off of a 2-0 loss against Mary Baldwin this past weekend, so definitely a little bit hungry to get a win, as well as the Bob Jones Bruins, who drew this past weekend against Covenant College. So, being from South Carolina, going to Georgia, now coming up to Virginia, Bob Jones definitely on the hunt here to get a win tonight here against the Cougars. Luis, what are your thoughts on this matchup the Cougars have?
The Cougars have to improve from last game. Last game, it was a lot of kickball, a lot of defensively on their side. This game, they kind of have to step it up on the midfield, a lot of attacking press. They have to get the ball off their feet and not just force it up. They have to keep the ball at their feet if they want to maintain either a draw or a win here.
Yeah, definitely exciting for the Cougars as well, coming off of two straight losses after winning their opening matchup 3-0 against Pfeiffer dating back to a week or two ago. Cougars are definitely hungry on the home turf, definitely want to get a win here tonight. A couple players to watch for the Cougars. One is Lucia Sanchez, the sophomore, who appeared in 16 games, making 13 starts. Earned ODAC All-Team Academic offers. She's going to be starting here tonight for the Cougars, so definitely hope she can make an impact. Coming to you with the national anthem, and we will be back on the Averett Sports Network very shortly with this matchup.
Starting for the Bruins today, we have number 1, Margaret Cummings, number 5, Jane Farr, number 7, Abby Arrowwood, number 8, Reagan Tierney, number 17, Celeste Baladi, number 18, Gabriela Gonzalez, number 19, Sylvia Cummings, number 22, Jessica Townsend, number 24, Braden Adams, number 29, Riley Johnson, and number 30, Francesca Peters.
And then starting for your Cougars tonight on the pitch is going to be number 4, Clarice Peters, number 12, Samantha Casey, number 26, Rayleigh Smith, number 6, Aja Williams, number 27, Elena Barrett, number 30, Remy Vigaroo, number 3, Haley Juhaz, number 9, Mayuhai Vernon, number 14, Celia DiDiego, and number 18, Lucia Sanchez, rounding out the starting lineup for your Averett University Cougars tonight. Now this attack led by Celia DiDiego, who so far has 2 goals and 1 assist on the year through 2 games played for a 1-2 squad so far. you think she's definitely a little hungry to get on that score sheet tonight here in this non-conference matchup.
Absolutely. After a game like 2 days ago, where they went scoreless, they lost 2-0 to Mary Baldwin. She definitely wants to get on the board. She kind of wants to remain the top goal scorer for her team, and she wants to be that person to put it in the back of the net. So she's going to be looking very hungry today to get that target.
Yeah, see how the Bruins are going to be able to defend the Averett attack, but as well as Diego, who finds a way to just get it done whenever it needs to be for her squad, as well as this back line captained by Samantha Casey, who is just a spitfire back there for her squad, always everywhere. Wherever the ball is, you can definitely see her within somewhere close to the ball. So it's going to be an exciting matchup here for both teams, and then as well as the coach, Megan Mozzie Fleming, after building this program for the Cougars for over the past couple years, now being able to see it pay off in the new conference as the ODAC.
And the kickoff whistle goes. Bruins maintain the ball in the midfield. Great passing there. Good pressure by Celia De Diego, trying to get that early start on that.
Yeah, exactly what we were talking about, Luis. Diego, you can see their first couple kicks of the game. Even the Averett Cougars right now, they're all over the Bob Jones Bruins. Granted, it's only been a couple seconds, but you can tell it's definitely a different kind of mentality this year for this Cougars team.
Absolutely. This is exactly the start you want against a tough Bob Jones team like this.
Yeah, dating back to 2021, the Averett University Cougars are 0-2 against Bob Jones, so definitely want to pick up a win here.
Williams on the far side sends one in for Sanchez, doesn't quite get it there, goes out. Going to be a goal kick for the Bruins.
Yeah, really good pressure on the attack there from the Cougars, but too much for Sanchez to handle on the pass by Williams.
Cummings plays it short, plays it far. Great pass there. Bob Jones maintains possession. Great through ball there.
Bob Jones doing a great job to work out a possession there.
Pass towards the middle. Clarice Peters cleans it up. Uhas in the middle. Maintains possession. Keeps it at her feet. Great dribble by Uhas. Uhas retains the possession. Back to Sanchez. Celia De Diego now with the ball. Loses it temporarily. Gives it to Bob Jones.
It's a great effort from the Averett midfield so far in this game. Uhas and Barrett right there connecting, being able to defend and attack at the same time. And there's that spitfireness from Casey I was talking about. Great tackle to start off the game on the defensive effort from her.
Great job by Peters shielding the ball away from the Bob Jones attacker from Arrowwood. Peters is going to throw it in now, looking for someone to pass it to. No one seems to be checking in for her. Uhas comes in now. Hivarn takes the ball. Now Uhas. Pass through the middle. Gets intercepted. Uhas with a great tackle there. Falls to the floor.
Yeah, great effort by Uhas, putting her body on the line there after she made the mistake and giving the ball up, but did a great job to be able to capitalize and then pounce on the attack there.
This is a young freshman that has really taken up a good step on this team. Cummings boots it away from pressure from De Diego.
So far, this Bob Jones squad, not much to attack for them, nor the Cougars either, but they just look like they want it more. As Diego now with the ball in the box, it's definitely a scary sight if you're in that Bruins defense.
Absolutely. De Diego is one of the players you have to watch out for. De Diego has a great vision, a great understanding of this game. If she sees space, she's going to take it. She's going to find that pass, and she's going to take the shot.
Cougars going to have a corner here, but Bob Jones 2-0-2 on the year so far with 7 goals through the 4 games to the Cougars 3 goals in 3 games.
Uhas takes a corner. Goes a little low. Gets intercepted by Bob Jones. It's a foot race. Casey comes out to it. Now Peters. Great job by Peters there to stop that counterattack. Peters sends it to Uhas. A little too hard for Uhas to control it.
Just a great effort there from Peters. Being one of the last defenders there on the back line. Being able to pick off the one-on-one tackle and put her team in the good position after falling back almost.
This seems to be a great start for both teams, Shane. Properly kind of distributing the ball back and forth. It's not really one-sided right now. As Aja Williams does a great tackle there, trying to stop Bob Jones from moving forward.
Yeah, no, Luis, I completely agree with what you were saying. It's definitely a 50-50 matchup. I swear the ball hasn't been really tested to the goalkeepers yet. So the first team to be able to get that to happen might take the edge here and be able to build a little bit of momentum for their team and the attack as well.
Free kick is taken in. Peters there to recover. Boots it away from pressure. It's going to be a Bob Jones throw-in. Number 22 there. Jessica Townsend there for the throw-in. Townsend sends it into Johnson. Johnson can't quite control it under her feet. Now an Averett throw-in. Peters looking for someone to check in for her. Hyvarnen right in front of her. Hyvarnen. Great touch by Hyvarnen to get away from that. Little through ball there to De Diego. De Diego leaves it. Uhas recovers. Great turn by Uhas there.
Already a good showing for the freshman Uhas, number 3. Early in the game so far, really controlling the midfield, and looks like she has a little bit of pace to her step. Definitely want to see what she can do throughout this game.
This team has really trusted Uhas to kind of control the ball at the midfield. She has a very good sense of when someone is pressuring her, and she turns away from pressure. She rather distribute it and let it go somewhere easy than to risk a high pass and lose the ball.
Yeah, so far also been very quick with those decisions that you were just talking about, Luis. Been very good about not having too much pressure before she lays it off to her teammate and creates a lot of space for them.
Peters looking for the throw-in. Doesn't see the look to Uhas. Uhas doesn't take the touch. Arrowhead sends it up. Now here's Rayleigh Smith to Kroons. To the captain Casey.
A little bit of physical battle there between Smith and the attacker for Bob Jones as De Diego and Uhas connect there.
A little bit of a challenge there by Bob Jones as Hyvarnen cleans up the ball on the wing. It's a one-on-one there. Hyvarnen keeps it in, but it goes in favor of Bob Jones for a goal kick.
Hyvarnen trying her best there to beat the defender, but not able to create enough space to get a pass in the middle. Not what you want to see from one of those first efforts, but if that's the first, then that means there's more coming.
Averett just has to maintain this high pressure, kind of high attack movement that they're doing right now. Bob Jones doesn't have enough time to really look up and pass the ball off. As you see right now, they're moving off of the counterattack.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to move off the counterattack than having to be able to build something and being able to capitalize off of the defense's mistakes on the counterattacks. Knowing that they're the last line of defense, it's really hard to be able to take on maybe even an effort when you're outnumbered.
Great tackle there by Casey, keeping the ball at her feet while also not drawing the foul.
Was going to say a great turn there from the Bob Jones attacker, but Casey with an even better tackle. Just putting on a display so far through the first 8 minutes of the game. 2 great tackles for the senior.
Casey has been absolutely amazing these last couple games for Averett. She's absolutely taking a great leadership role, and she's been commanding that defense very strongly.
Rayleigh Smith getting her first test of the game here once again, though. in a physical battle with a Bob Jones defender. Going to be a throw-in for Bob Jones.
Bob Jones maintains the ball at the wing. It's going to be another throw-in for Bob Jones. That will be number 19, Sylvia Cummings. Into Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries to get around Vigoro. Boots it up. Casey there. Williams boots it away. Again with Gonzalez. Great turn on Vigoro there. To the wing. Bob Jones on the wing. Great stop there by Aja Williams. Throw in now. Sanchez maintains the ball into Vigoro. A bit of miscommunication there by Vigoro and Sanchez. It appeared Vigoro wanted Sanchez to continue running for a through ball for a 1-2. Barrett fighting for the ball. Casey slides.
Great slide tackle there from Casey again. Just a little bit of what showing a little bit of what she's able to do so far throughout this game.
Back to the goalkeeper Cummings, down to the left side. Looking for an opening, looking for someone open. Peters to Hyvarnen on the left wing here. Hyvarnen checks, scans the field. Goes for a through ball, but doesn't quite get there. De Diego cleans it up. It's going to be out on Townsend. It's going to be a throw-in.
De Diego, such a menace when the ball's in her proximity, pounced on it right there, and now going to have a throw-in for the Cougars in the attacking third of the field.
Peters trying to look for someone to pass it in. Sees De Diego running up. De Diego, great job controlling the ball. Looking for an outlet. Peters comes in, checks in for her. Peters whips in across. Doesn't go very far. Vigoro trying to maintain the ball. Bob Jones now attacks the other way.
Not the best cross from Peters there. Wanted it probably a little higher in the air. Looking for Vigoro there, but Bob Jones almost found the ball that Peters wanted on the past one we just saw there into the box.
It appears that Bob Jones is trying to attack Averett through a lot of counterattacks, a lot of fast-paced movement, trying to catch Averett on their heels. Averett hasn't been very good when it comes to counterattacking so far, so hopefully they change it up soon to kind of adjust better to this game.
Yeah, doing a great job as the back line because, like you said, Luis, those counterattacks, they've been constant throughout the game by this Bob Jones attack. Dr. Chris Carmichael implementing that tactic, trying to get his squad a goal, being able to capitalize off of Averett's mistakes there, being so open on the counterattacks.
Absolutely. Barrett fighting there against Johnson. De Diego now has the ball at her feet. Tries to look, scans, looks for Williams. Gets intercepted by Bob Jones' defense.
Great bit of passing there by Bob Jones, being able to clear that one out, but not going to be able to scoop up that tackle. Sorry, possession there.
De Diego trying to find something. Goes to Uhas. Uhas, great job trying to avoid the slide tackle there. Now to Sanchez. Sanchez to Uhas. Uhas looks, turns. Great turn away from pressure. Great job there by Uhas. Uhas looks for Vigoro. Vigoro fights. Doesn't quite get there. Continues, pressures. And it's going to be a throw-in. Great effort there by Vigoro to kind of maintain the pressure on Bob Jones.
Yeah, Vigoro and Uhas connecting there very well after the great dribbles by Uhas, being able to create some space from the defenders.
The ball goes into Peters. Peters to Barrett. Barrett takes a touch in for Uhas. Uhas takes it away from pressure, gives it to Smith. Smith boots it up. De Diego pressures. Pressures on Baladi. Baladi looks. finds an open man in the midfield, and the pressure keeps coming up. Vigero sends it up. Not sure if she was looking for a cross there, but Cummings easily wraps it up.
These Averett attacks are looking better and better as the game goes on. See if they'll be able to put one in the back of the net there. With Diego Yuhas and all the speed on the wings, there's a lot that this Cougar squad can do.
They're very promising attack and midfield. Their defense is definitely their stronger point, but that was a great shot there from out far by Gonzalez, trying to look for the back of the net. But like I said, this defense has really stepped it up for them. They're just waiting for the rest of the midfield and the attack to kind of do the same.
Yeah, only 15 minutes into this game. There's a lot of time for both of these teams to clean up and get some rust off from what they've been doing right there as Peters tries to find Hivernon potentially on that pass, but going to be a throw-in for the Bruins.
Townsend tries to look for Johnson there, and it's going to be a foul called on the Bruins.
Yeah, Casey hits the deck hard there, does a good job to draw the foul, and now they're going to have a free kick from around the 35-yard line. See who Casey's going to pinpoint on this one.
Looking for Diego there, just slightly over her head. Bob Jones does a great job. Gonzalez now with the ball at the midfield. She has space. She takes her time. She scans, looks. Barrett, great job there to kind of deflect that away from its original path.
See the defending by Barrett there. Great defense. Not facing the defender, but a little bit of that tilt so she can get back if she needs to. Just a great effort there, being ready on all aspects of the game there.
It's going to be a throw-in. Vigero comes out, and Lindstrom is now in the game. Now Smith trying to do a bit of footwork, trying to get away from the pressure from Bob Jones. It's going to be a throw-in. Casey there, clears the ball. Diego chases. Adams heads it over to Cummings. Cummings rolls it over to Adams. Adams to the left side to Bellotti. Sanchez, great pressure there to make sure the Bob Jones attacker doesn't turn. Great job again by Sanchez. Williams recovers the ball off of the fumbled touch.
Yeah, great effort there from the Cougars offense. Just pouncing on that one, letting it getting it before it went out of bounds, but not much on the attacking side of the ball. Still need to polish up on the attacks if they want to see the lead here tonight.
I believe this is a great effort from both teams, both working very hard to kind of maintain the ball at their feet. It's going to be a very defensive-oriented game today. As Peters takes the ball in the midfield. Doesn't quite get the touch she wanted as Gonzalez now turns. Looking for an outlet, looking for someone upfield. Little fake on Lindstrom there. As she finds someone, a little too hard for them to control. Gonzalez back with the ball. Sends it up over Smith's head. Peters there on the left wing, on the right corner.
Good job by Casey to clear that one out. Probably the most pressure that the Bruins have put on this Cougars defense so far this game, but the captain sneaking in there and punting that one away, resetting the attack.
Townsend back to Adams. Bellotti. Now the Bruins are pushing on the wings. Williams, great tackle there. Diego recovers the ball for Averett. Plays the through pass to Yuhas. Yuhas with the speed. Yuhas continues. Gets it taken away there by Adams. Cummings
Yeah, Yuha's trying to do it on her lonesome there on the attack by the Cougars, but not able to.
Townsend scans. Gives it back to Averett as Casey takes the ball now up the other way. A pass to Peters. Peters looking for De Diego. Bit of miscommunication there. As Johnson now fights against Barrett.
Barrett and Williams, great efforts there on the defensive side of things. Not able to pick up the possession, but you know Coach Fleming loves to see that bit of effort out of her players.
Johnson and Williams. De Diego holds onto the ball. Little through pass to Yuhas. A bit of miscommunication there from Bob Jones's defense. As a great shot there by Yuhas. A bit of a deflection. Hyvarnen there trying to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, great job by Yuhas there on the attacking side of the ball, passing it to Di Diego and watching her just scan the field there, giving it back to Yuhas, and then the shot by Di Diego. When she kicks it, it's always going to be a scary sight from the goalkeeper's perspective because the danger that she can do with that right leg.
I believe that was the first shot of the game, wasn't it, Shane?
First shot on target, yes, Luis, that was. Bob Jones does have one shot, but it went wide.
Yuhas' cross goes in, gets tangled up between players as Barrett passes back to Yuhas. Yuhas brings it down, doesn't get the touch she wants it, but maintains possession. Hyvarnen now fighting for the ball in the corner. And the linesman is going to call it out for a goal kick for the Bruins.
Yeah, Hyvarnen can't drag that one back. Crosses the yellow line, so out of bounds, and now the goal kick, like you just said, Luis.
Peters on the left side. Tries to take on three defenders. Looks for an opening. Looking for Johnson, but doesn't quite get it there. Hyvarnen now with the ball. Hyvarnen looking for De Diego. Ball up. Great job by Samantha Casey there to head it away from pressure. As Peters for the Bruins tries to bring it down. Sanchez there clears. As Farr, the left back, throws it in. And it's going to be a foot race between Sanchez and Peters here. Peters wins the foot race. Peters cuts back. Peters takes a shot with her right, and Crone's there to kind of relieve the pressure off of the team there. Great shot there by Peters as Crone's throws it over to Hyvarnen. And the ball will go out for a throw-in for Averett. Hyvarnen to Yuhas. Yuhas back to Barrett. Casey looks for Williams. That's a great pass, just doesn't quite get it there. And now Lindstrom with a great header to Williams. Williams races for the ball. Bellotti there, tries to clean it up to Peters.
Great job by the Bruins there, keeping that ball in. Now trying to make something out of nothing, but Di Diego turns on the Jets, rips the shot, deflected there by number 24. That's Braden Adams for the Bruins.
This Averett attack seems a lot more comfortable in this game compared to the last two. They seem like they want to, they're really hungry for that goal. They're not scared of this Bob Jones defense. They're very, very high press right now. And if they keep this up, they will find their goal.
Yeah, so far, Averett definitely dominating on the offensive side of the things. That ball is going to be pinballed around Di Diego. On the hunt for it, though. Has his teammates. Not too much space, though.
Di Diego goes to the floor. Yuhas tries to swing it back in as William recovers that. Tries to get it to Lindstrom, but she's surrounded by Bob Jones' defender. It goes to Barrett in the middle. Barrett tries to control it, put it on the floor to Lindstrom. Barrett searching. Casey doesn't quite get the pass there. Now back to Peters. Peters is going to have a bit of pressure on her. Sends it over to Smith. Smith has time. She has room. Looks over to Sanchez.
Great job to switch the play there by the Cougars defense, recouping from the offensive attack they almost had.
was a great job by Lindstrom there. Looking for Williams. Williams just couldn't get the whole foot behind that ball. Trying to look for a shot possibly, just couldn't get it there.
Yeah, Williams looking for that first-time shot. Maybe not what she should have gone with there. Had a lot of space to be able to work with and maybe even time.
And we have Ellie Cummings coming in for Sylvia Cummings for the Bruins. As Peters recovers the ball, Barrett now in the middle, looks for Lindstrom. Lindstrom will look to take the shot. Just takes a bad touch there to try to set it up for herself.
Yeah, Lindstrom not happy with herself on that effort. You could tell there from the reaction, but plenty of game left to be able to make her mark.
Ivarnen now with the ball. De Diego, great job dribbling away, trying to get away, trying to get past. De Diego takes a shot, goes into a defender. Now Barrett. Lindstrom chases the ball in for Sanchez as Peters gets there first, takes a bad touch, and it goes out. And it's going to be a throw-in for Averett.
Bad touch there by Williams. Just going to go out of bounds for another Bruins throw-in here on the left side of the pitch.
And it's going to be Francesca Peters takes a step onto the bench. And Emily Walton would come in now for her.
Couple subs for this Bob Jones squad so far. Definitely maybe not liking what he sees out of his squad is Coach Carmichael making some subs, maybe get a little more of offense here. Looks like Averett might make a sub soon here as well.
Throw in back there for the Bruins as Bellotti has time, doesn't have a lot of pressure on her, swings it over to Townsend, Townsend over to Adams. Adams still continues with a lot of time, trying to look for Johnson.
Sanchez almost caught coming out of position there, but Smith is going to pick up the slack.
Crohn's with enough time, looks, scans, sends it to open field. Townsend there recovers, turns away from Highbarnen. Trying to look for somewhere upfield to pass it to. Highbarnen, great pressure there by Highbarnen. Forces her to take a bad touch and roll it out. It's going to be a throw in for Averett. And Highbarnen will take a seat on the bench, and Breathen will come in for her on this left side here. Peters looks, finds Lindstrom open in the middle. Lindstrom tries to bring it down, doesn't bring it in time, gets swarmed. And Johnson now looks, tries to go for a through ball, doesn't get it to Cummings. Smith recovers. Crohn's now. Now Smith. Gonzalez pressures. Forces Smith to take a bad touch, and it's going to be a Averett throw-in.
So yeah, number 16 for the Cougars, Leah Breathen, already 3 games into the season with a goal on the score sheet. So definitely see if she can make an impact in this Cougars offense, playing that left wing position on the attack for the Cougars now.
Yep, and there's Breathen now, trying to maintain possessions for the Cougars, continues to pressure. As Cummings there, getting it away from Breathen. As Townsend looks up, finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez tries to turn, trying to make something happen. Gonzalez looks up, sends a lobbed ball over to Cummings. Cummings fights against Sanchez. And the ball will be kicked out of bounds by Sanchez, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Bruins.
Going to be the first time that this Cougars defense is really tested here today on this corner attempt. See what Crones can pull out of her bag of tricks here on the kick.
The Cougars are going to have to play a little more defensively on this corner kick. The last 2 goals scored by Mary Baldwin were off of corner kicks. So let's see if they practice that, defending against corners. As Diego boots it, heads it away. Uhas pressures, gets a foot on it, so it's going to be a throw-in for the Bruins. Townsend sends it in to Arrowwood. And it's going to be another throw-in. A little bit of a collision there by Casey. Full head of steam right into Arrowwood. It's going to be a free kick from this far sideline here. Gonzalez is going to line up, ask for some space. The ref gives her 10 feet. And Crones now fixing her wall, putting it in the right position for her. As Gonzalez scans and takes it. Ball goes up. Over everyone's head, goes on the far side. Cummings there to recover. As it's going to be an offsides there on the Bruins.
Substitution for the Cougars is number 29, Erica Lindstrom, comes off the pitch for number 7, Maddie Pedraza. Another freshman making another appearance for the Cougars here early in the 2023 season.
As Peters tries to look for Breathen, just a little too much power behind that pass. Breathen couldn't quite get there. As Townsend throws it in right to Breathen. Breathen controls it, gets it taken away by Cummings. Casey brings the ball down close to her feet. Looking for a bit of communication there. Wasn't sure if it was going to Uhas or Diego. Another throw-in for the Bruins. As Cummings tries to bring it down. Barrett now to Uhas. Great job bringing it down there. Uhas trying to look for Pedraza. Miller. Now Adams to Cummings.
Still 32 minutes into this game, and we are scoreless if you're just checking into the Averett Sports Network. My name is Shane Mako, and alongside me is Luis Martinez as the Bob Jones Bruins take on the Averett University Cougars here at Daly Field in Danville, Virginia.
As Shannon Miller looks for an opening. Peters plays great defense there. Gives it away back to the Bruins. Tierney recovers that. Townsend to Adams. Adams scans. Finds an open Miller in the midfield. Over to Bellotti. Williams, great job there, shielding the ball to let it go out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Williams been playing a masterful right back position so far. Not too many mistakes on her end.
Now Adams with the ball in the backfield. Adams scans, looks for an opening, looks for an outlet, looks for a player. Finds Townsend on the wing. Townsend turns away from Breathen. Breathen, a little bit of pressure there. Back to Adams and Bellotti. Takes it on that left side. Finds a through ball, trying to get it past Sanchez. And Casey there to boot it away, taking away some pressure.
Another job of Samantha Casey there, implementing herself.
Now Gonzalez with the ball at the midfield. Gonzalez. Sanchez there with a rough tackle.
Yeah, definitely not the most legal of tackles there from Sanchez. Going to give the Bruins a free kick here in a dangerous position. See what they're going to do with it.
The referee gives space.
My bet, Luis, is they're going to try and get this one in the box. See what the tactics here on the free kick.
I think they're going to want to kind of maintain the ball here. From this distance, trying to get a shot off past the keeper can be very difficult unless you know how to place it properly.
With 10 minutes left here in the first half, the Bruins have the free kick on the attempt there. Looking for the shot in, mishandled by the keeper, but picked up there after a little bit of mishandling.
Very dangerous from the Bruins attacking. Trying to possibly push the keeper into her own net, trying to force her to mess up. But great job by Crohn's there, making sure the ball is secured in her hands. As Diego takes it on the far right side, down to Breathen. Breathen couldn't get the touch on it.
Yeah, Diego not doing Breathen many favors on the attempt there, but you could see Juhas as she sped up and turned on the Jets trying to get to that defender.
Williams fighting against number 5 there, Jane Farr. As Williams sends it to Diego. Bellotti takes it instead. Adams, with enough time and pressure, looks, scans, sends a far ball over to Arrowwood. Peters pressuring behind Arrowwood, down to Townsend. Breathen pressuring there. Adams, with enough time to look, passes it back to her goalkeeper Cummings. Over to Bellotti. Bellotti into Johnson. Miller. Now Cummings, the goalkeeper, with the ball at her feet.
Got 9 minutes left in the first half. Both teams definitely want to get on that score sheet before halftime and be able to build a little bit of momentum for their squad.
It's going to be a throw-in for the Bruins. It appears there's going to be a substitution. Arrowwood will come out. And will give number 11, Sarah Ward, a chance to show what she can do for the Bruins. Townsend lobs the ball over to Miller. Miller can't quite get a foot on that. Now Juhas with the great pressure there. Looks for Diego. A little too far for Diego to reach it. Now over to Walton.
I'll tell you what, Luis, Haley Juhas is everywhere so far in this matchup.
She's not afraid to step in to play some defense, and she most definitely is not afraid to go up with the ball. She's very comfortable with her feet, even as a freshman.
Yeah, it looks like she has a lot of confidence on the ball, showing shades of Celia Diego for the Cougars. Seems as though Coach Megan Mozzie Fleming has a good one in the attack department for her squad there as a freshman, being able to build this confidence early and being able to potentially get into that leadership role later down the line.
Celia Diego will now take a rest for the Cougars, and Gianna Minafo will come in for her. Peters throws in, goes far off of Breathen, as Breathen collides there against Adams.
Yeah, Brethen's going to take Adams down there, getting a little bit of her first touches of the matchup here. Still trying to find her footing.
Barrett pressuring against Miller. Back down to Townsend. Back to over to Bellotti. Bellotti scans. Finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez over to Farr. And Gonzalez speeds past Smith. Smith, great job there to maintain the ball at her feet. Another freshman there playing extremely well. Gonzalez, great pressure on Smith, taking the ball away. Smith does not give up.
Yeah, a little bit of an unsung effort there by Smith. Defense really goes unnoticed half the time when it's working. You only kind of think about it when goals are being scored, but Smith doing a great job to stop that from happening for the Cougars so far today.
As Pedraza tries to take the ball away from Ward. Great job there by Barrett, taking the ball away back for the Cougars. Yuha's great speed up the field, looking for an open pass, but doesn't quite get it there. Williams maintains the pressure, still the pressure on Cummings.
Gonna fall to a lonely Breathen there.
Breathen against two defenders. Great job, great turn by Breathen there to get away from pressure, trying to get the pass off.
Seems like the ball just won't leave her feet right now. It's a magnet. As I'm saying that, commentators curse as the Bruins pick up possession or on the attack.
Great tackle there by Casey, stopping that counterattack from the Bruins. Sends it over to Williams. That was a beautiful pass by Casey. Now Williams over to Manafo. Now we're going to have Walton on the wing there. Loses it over to Manafo. Williams trying to bring it down. As Walton comes back and recovers that ball, sends it over to Farr. And it's going to remain in. Pedraza cleans that up. Pedraza now doesn't get the pass she wants. Sanchez tries to maintain pressure on that. Manafo now with the defender on her back hits the turf, and it's going to be a foul for Averett.
Seems as though the Cougars are outnumbering the defense of Bob Jones on their attacks, but just not able to put it together and find the passes that need to be played.
Sanchez trying to find someone in open space, and it appears that Peters will take this free kick instead, and Sanchez will drop back to defend, helping out Smith and Casey back there. Peters is going to try to send this in for possibly a header, giving Averett possibly another scoring chance here. Peters steps up, whips one in high, looking for Manafo. Manafo couldn't quite get there. Smith now. Smith takes.
Yeah, trying to rip a shot there with Smith. No luck there on that one, but still has the ball at her feet.
Ball's going to go out, and it's going to go in favor of Averett. Another throw-in. Sanchez will take the throw-in for Averett. We'll look for someone open. About 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this half. Sanchez looking for Williams. Williams sends it back to Sanchez. Sanchez sends it over to Juhas. Juhas with three defenders behind her. Bounces over the keeper. A little bit of miscommunication there by the Bruins defense as Bellotti will take the ball now from Cummings. Bellotti sends it over. And it's going to be a bad touch there for the Bruins. It's going to be a throw-in for Averett, as Farr couldn't quite get a touch on that. And it's going to turn it over for Averett. And it's a big collision in the midfield there as Casey hits the deck, and it's going to still be Bob Jones' ball.
Yeah, big tackle. Trying to get a big tackle there was Casey, but going to be called for the foul at midfield. .202 left on the clock. Bob Jones potentially trying to just keep possession and keep the attack on for the last couple minutes of this half.
Casey clears the ball there. Townsend is going to come over and throw it in. Gets it over to Cummings. Now Averett trying to get the ball. Johnson comes in for Aja Williams, number 6. Johnson wearing the number 5 for Averett. As Bob Jones maintains possession of the ball in the midfield. And that is Tierney sending the ball over to Cummings. Cummings, big collision there by Clarice Peters, great job there defending.
A minute left in the half. Bob Jones still in possession of the ball.
And Crones cleans that ball in by Townsend. As a little under 50 seconds left now, as Crones sends it up. As Minafo tries to get there. Can't get there. Miller now. Townsend and Breathen now fighting for the ball. Back to Peters. A bit of communication there. As Casey boots the ball into Peters, and it's going to be a throw-in for Bob Jones. Townsend trying to send it in quickly, trying to get Averett's defense on their heels. With only 15 seconds left, as Barrett sends it over to Minafo. Minafo now with a chance to turn. Breathen now tries to boost it away, doesn't get it quite there. Minafo holds it. And that will run down the first half for the Cougars and the Bruins.
Yeah, so going into the half, Averett University 0, Bob Jones University 0. My name is Shane Mickle, and alongside me is Luis Martinez, and we'll be right back with the second half on the Averett Sports Network.
is inclusive, encompassing, inspiring. Averett University provides all you need for a future you deserve through learning that embraces all of your infinite potential with flexible online and on-campus programs, like our newest programs in entrepreneurship and psychology, with more coming soon, with affordable tuition and 24/7 support. It all leads to you becoming a catalyst for positive change. Visit allaverett.com. Averett University. Are you all in?
And welcome back to the Averett Sports Network. My name is Shane Mickle, and alongside me is Luis Martinez. We will be bringing to you the second half of your Averett University women's soccer team going up against the Bruins of Bob Jones University. Going into the second half, we are tied at the score of 0-0 as there was a lot of attacks from both teams, but nothing in the back of the net so far.
As we see here, both teams have been very good when it comes to attacking, but their defense has just been absolutely amazing for both teams. As Sam Casey has led this defense to a rough Bob Jones attack, has held them scoreless so far. And Uhas now in the midfield. Great dribble by Uhas, looking for an Evans. Evans couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, Yuha's been all around the pitch in that first half, really making her mark on this game and the season so far with the fancy footwork, being able to create the space.
As Peters tries to race for it, and Casey just taps it out, taking some pressure away from her defense.
Yeah, this Avery defense has held strong so far throughout the first half. Peters, Casey, Smith, and Sanchez doing a great job of getting back where they need to be for their team to succeed. Right there, Smith is going to clear that one out and give it to Uhas. Uhas is going to try and find Evans, but a little bit over her head. Bob Jones going to scoop this one up.
That was far to... Now Sanchez with the ball to Smith. Smith tries to recover, takes away from pressure. Casey trying to outlast the attacker there. And it's Bellotti over to Farr. Farr trying to give it over to Schmidt as Smith recovers that ball.
Smith dribbles that one out as the Cougars go with a little bit of what they started this game with. One substitute in that matter, as Isabel Evans is now on the right side for Aja Williams, but you're going to see the faces like Vigorou back in the game as well as High Vernon on the left side of the pitch for the Cougars.
Evans looks for De Diego, doesn't quite get it there as Farr takes that away. Back to Evans now. Evans, good little cutback. Now Sanchez over to Uhas. Uhas takes it away, has time, passes it back to Casey. Casey now steps up, looks for an open man. Down the field, Vigorou lets it go. Now De Diego, good little bit of footwork. Can't get the move she wants. And now Van Dudewoord gets taken to the floor by Uhas, and it's going to be a free kick for Bob Jones.
See a little bit of the strength from Uhas there. Not the tallest in height, but doing the most she can with the stature that she has given. Showing shades of Samantha Casey there on that effort.
Bellotti's going to step back, possibly trying to send it into the box, and she whips it in. And Smith clears it away. Now Uhas trying to bring it down. Doesn't quite get it there. Townsend trying to hold on. Now Miller. Now Peters with a great counterattack going the other way with De Diego. Peters has time. Looks for De Diego. De Diego doesn't quite get it there. Adams there takes it away. Now Townsend trying to hold on as Cummings is backed up into her own line. Maintains possession. Ref says play on. Gives advantage. Cummings trying to look for an open man. Decides to take her chances against Peters and brushes right past Peters. Now Cummings continues with the ball against Casey, the captain. Now Casey showing great efforts there, trying to take the ball away. Cummings can't quite stay on her feet. Now High Varnon, great turn there, trying to get around Townsend. Sends it over to De Diego. De Diego runs down the pitch. De Diego against Bellotti. Bellotti trying to stand up against De Diego. Now Evans. Evans tries to turn. Now Cummings comes out and retrieves the ball, stopping that forward motion from Averett.
Yeah, great effort all around there by the Cougars as Evans wasn't able to corral it, but a lot of good teamwork there as Diego had a lot of space and just trying to find an open teammate.
Now Bob Jones trying to answer back with that counterattack of their own. Now Tierney trying to hold on to that ball. Diego tries to slide, doesn't quite get the tackle she wants. And Miller there gives it away, gives it back to Averett. It's going to be a goal kick for Averett as Crones goes back and picks that up. Crones will pass it over to Smith. Smith to Sanchez. Gives it away to Schmidt. Schmidt takes a shot. Safely recovered by Crones. Not much of a shot there to challenge the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Crones hasn't really been tested throughout the game so far. That's a testament to this Cougars defense and even offense doing a great job of keeping the ball on their side of the pitch and applying all of the pressure they have been so far throughout this game.
In the first half, Shane, we saw that the Bruins had about 57% while the Cougars had 43%. About an even matchup there when it comes to possession. Not much of one-sided effort there, but it seems to be like a good matchup here. Eventually, one of these teams will hit the target and score a goal.
Yeah, I know neither of these teams want to go home scoreless, so no matter if it's a tie or a win for either squad, hopefully the win for the Cougars, but each team definitely wants to see some production at the attacking level after all the chances that have been created tonight.
And it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars on the far side. Clears Peters, picks that up. Throws it into Casey. Casey takes a touch, scans the field. Pressure coming in from the Bruins as Peters clears that away from pressure. As Diego brings it down, back to Juhas. Juhas with the speed to recover that. Passes over to Sanchez. Sanchez on the right wing now. Sanchez passes it over to Evans. Evans turns. Evans tries to fight against Farr there. Farr takes the ball. And it's going to be out on the Bruins as Farr slightly went out of bounds. Sanchez asks for someone to come in and check in for her. Juhas trying to look for Sanchez. Sanchez sends it up. Bellotti tries to bring it down back to Sanchez. Sanchez still on the outside of the box. Looking for Evans. She gets swarmed. Tries to look for Diego. Vigouroux brings it down. Hyvarnen tries to take a shot. Gets blocked. A lot of scuffle there in the box. A very dangerous spot for the Bruins.
Yeah, just great effort there all around. Another bit of pressure being applied by this Cougars attack, still with the ball in their attacking third. See what they can do with it here.
Sanchez sends it over to Evans with the defender on her back. And that'll be Farr defending on Evans as they both hit the deck. And now Schmidt there trying to get it out. The ref has some words for Schmidt, telling him to calm down, to relax. And he pulls into his pocket and takes out a yellow card for Schmidt, who just checked into the second half.
So now it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars as a yellow card once again is going to be booked up for the Bob Jones University Bruins. See if that adds any bit to the fire of this Cougar squad here.
Evans appears to back up to send it into the box, hopefully for a header for the Cougars. Doesn't quite get the power behind it. It lobs it up. It's going to be a scuffle in the middle. Sanchez sends it up to Diego. Diego's header goes right into the goalkeeper Cummings, and now a counterattack for the Bruins. Bruins going the other way. And that'll be Sylvia Cummings going up against Peters. Sylvia Cummings with the speed against Peters. Maintains the ball at her feet. Takes it back to Miller. Miller now going back the other way. Looking for Townsend. Townsend sends it over to Farr. Farr takes a touch. Looks around. Sends it over to Schmidt, who just got booked in the ref's booklet. as Johnson there. And it's going to be a bit of a collision there. Ref says play on. It appeared to have possibly been a bit of a yellow card, maybe a little bit of a foul, but the ref says play on. Nothing there for either the keeper or the defender.
Yeah, Diego's going to hit the deck hard there, but the ref, again, just a challenge flag there.
That must be very frustrating for Diego, having such a break for the Cougars there as she hits the floor, slides back, trying to recover the ball there. And the ref is going to give a foul for the Bruins as Diego seems very frustrated with the lack of calls for her.
I would be frustrated if I was Diego too there. It looked like there was a lot of no contact between her and the attacker for the Bruins. But, going to be called on the foul there and the free kick for the Bruins. They're now on the move.
As Cummings tries to get the ball away for High Varnon. A little bit of some contact here from both teams. They might get a little chippy here.
Casey comes flying in out of nowhere, and High Vernon just going to head that one out of bounds. It's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars, though, now. Oh, sorry, a free kick for the Cougars. Casey's going to be on this one.
Casey sends it up, looking for Diego. Diego with a little bit of pressure behind her from Bellotti. Diego goes to the floor from the press from Bellotti.
Diego finally picking up a foul call now. Hopefully a free kick for the Cougars in a great position. See what they're going to do with this one. Trying to get a little bit of instruction from her coach. Megan Mosby Fleming is Clarice Peters.
This is a very important chance for the Cougars here, for them to possibly get on the scoreboard and take a lead against the Bruins. A bit of tactic here from the Cougars could possibly put them up.
Looks like Peters is going to be on this one, even though it looks like Diego wanted it.
Going to be a bit of a problem with the clock, it appears.
Yeah, a little delay in the action here as they need to reset the clock. Looks like Bob Jones is also going to bring on a substitute while this is going on.
Yep, that is number 8, Tierney, going out. As number 13, Ellie Cummings, comes into the field, joins the wall, hoping to protect the Bruins goal here.
Peters going to be on this free kick for the Cougars. Now clock's going to be reset to 33:45. Adding a couple more seconds onto this one as the clock ran down. About the 20-yard line. Peters going to take this one. Ball's going to be into the box. Going to go over into the field goal. Wrong kind of football, but 3 points in another sport.
Cummings, the goalkeeper, will take it over to Bellotti. Bellotti over to Townsend. Townsend looks up. Doesn't get the pass off. High Varnon controls it. Miller wins it back for the Bruins. And it's going to be out on the Bruins again. It's going to be a throw-in. We're just waiting on the throw-in here by the Cougars. As Peters throws it in, sends it to Diego. The ball will go back up. Miller will bring it down. Barrett now. Back to Peters. Peters will send it across the field to Smith.
A little bit of a risky pass there by Peters. Attacker right there for Bob Jones.
Sanchez, great job defending, stopping the counterattack there by Schmidt. And Smith will come and find the ball and going to let it roll out for a throw-in. Sanchez throws it in. De Diego sends it over to Evans. Evans defended well by Schmidt there. There's going to be another throw-in. Great job by De Diego getting that ball over to Evans through two defenders. As Evans again to De Diego. De Diego couldn't get it quite the touch he wanted. Back over to Evans. Evans trying to cross it in. Goes out behind the goalie net. And Cummings will bring it up for a goal kick. And Francesca Peters will step in for Schmidt as Tierney is also back in the game for Hartzell. As Hyvarnen trying to look for an open Peters in the midfield, doesn't quite get it there. As Casey tries to keep the ball still in play, sends it up. And it will be a Bob Jones throw in here. As Townsend on the far side.
Yeah, Casey trying to do all that she can to keep that ball in. Not really able to. Tough situation for the defender on the sideline there.
Smith with a bit of pressure behind her. Passes over to Crones. Crones has a bit of time. Doesn't have a lot of pressure on her. Gives it over to Smith. Smith sends it up. Doesn't have anyone there. Townsend brings it back to Bellotti. Back to Adams. Adams sends it over to Farr. Farr to Peters. Peters trying to look for a through ball to Farr. Now De Diego going up the way. Right down the middle. De Diego gets tangled within defenders. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars.
De Diego trying to do it on her lonesome there. Trying to make some magic happen. But nothing avail there on the attack.
Casey takes the ball on the back there. As Peters looked to have been going for that ball. But stopped short. And now Peters will boot it back over to Hyvarnen, but it will be out. And there's going to be a two substitutions here as Riley Johnson will go ahead and take a seat. And Emily Walton will go ahead and step in the game as Sylvia Cummings will go ahead and take a seat.
De Diego trying to do her best to get her head on that one there, doing all she can, but nothing.
As the ball goes over Sanchez's head, over to Peters, a little bit of a scary situation there as Sanchez couldn't quite get her head behind that ball.
Yeah, not sure what was going to happen with that one, but now just going to be a throw-in for the Bruins after that.
The left back, Jane Farr here. Throws it in. Great touch there. Great control there by the Bruins. Great turn there by Van Dudewaard. Takes a shot on Crones. Crones easily recovers that ball.
Another good save there by Crones. Again, not too much testing for her tonight, but definitely not the worst thing in the world either. Means the defense is doing the job.
Absolutely, Shane. This defense has been absolutely critical for the success for the Cougars. They've been playing their part as Peters takes a cut in. Smith on Peters. Peters continues with the ball as Barrett now pressures on Miller. Miller tries to run through the defense on her own there, but Smith easily just boots it out for a clear. Now Miller, Townsend on the far side. Trying to look for an opening as Peters intercepts that one. Great turn by Peters. Peters now trying to find Uhas or Evans there as Uhas recovers. Uhas turns with the ball in the midfield. Great turn there by Uhas, getting away from pressure as she tries to look for Hyvarnen.
Just not fast enough on the effort there, and the ball from Uhas tried to lead her attacker a little bit too much as Hyvarnen was not able to get all the way to that one.
Now Peters here takes a bad touch, but maintains the ball at her feet. And here comes Van Dudewoord as Barrett tries to take it away from Miller. Miller gets a pass off back to Van Dudewoord. Casey, the captain, slips on the ball. And the ref is going to allow play on. Townsend now on the right side. Casey still on the floor. Great job by Barrett defending there. Van Dudewoord takes a shot. As Casey still remains, and now she gets up.
Yeah, tough as iron is the captain for the Cougar squad. She is a little shaken up after that play, but gets off on her feet under her own power and is going to stay in the game.
As you can see there, Shane, Casey plays such a great part in the Averett defense there. When she's not back there, it almost allows a scoring opportunity for the Bruins. So her staying in this game and staying healthy is very important to the Cougar success. As now Adams in the back, over to Townsend, getting pressured by Hyvarnen, sends it over to Miller. Miller sends it back to Townsend, tries to get away from De Diego. De Diego with a high press. Bellotti now with Adams taking a touch. Takes space, looks, scans, no pressure now for Adams. Adams finds Miller open but doesn't get the pass there quite in time. Now Peters will just let it roll out for a goal kick. Evans will go ahead and take a seat for the Cougars, and number 16, Leah Breathen. Evans will go ahead and take a seat. Breathen will come out onto the field, taking Evans' spot. As Smith now, Casey tries to clear to Uhas. Uhas takes a touch. Uhas with the speed. Uhas properly protecting the ball, sends it over to Breathen.
Very impressive to see this kind of effort and energy still out of Uhas after playing every minute of the game so far.
De Diego has the speed, chases that ball, keeps it in, and Adams clears that knowing that De Diego is right behind her trying to get that ball.
Yeah, just showing the IQ of De Diego of what needed to be done to keep that ball in, as she did, but going to be cleared out by the Bruins.
As Farr intercepts that throw in by Sanchez, as De Diego tries to keep it in play still, and Bellotti clears that, getting it away from Sanchez, as Barrett now and Miller fighting for the ball. And Hartzler trying to send it over to Walton. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Bruins here.
Still a 0-0 matchup. Both teams hungry to get on that score sheet. Cougars just look like they wanted a little bit more, being able to lead the possession so far in this second half.
Breathen there, sends it over to De Diego. De Diego trying to get it to Uhas, gets intercepted by Adams. Adams has been very good for the Bruins here.
Uhas with so much space. If that pass by De Diego got through, Bruins lucky to be able to catch that break.
Smith, a bit of pressure by Gonzalez as Casey will now calmly receive the ball in the back, sends it over to Peters. Peters now has a ton of time and room. Trying to look for someone upfield, doesn't quite get it there. As Walton now, as the ref stops play. and is going to call a free kick, possibly a handball on the Cougars there, as Hartzler has space. Gonzalez takes a turn away from Casey. Gonzalez to Peters. Peters fights against Vigaroo. As Breathen, now Uhas. Uhas trying to get it to De Diego, but too much power behind that pass there. Now Cummings over to Bellotti. Bellotti now Townsend. Great job by Peters there, taking it away. Now Uhas. Uhas has to run back to retrieve that ball, making sure the Bruins don't get it back. Now Casey has enough time, sees De Diego. Bellotti with a bit of pressure behind her. Now Casey over to De Diego. Bellotti sends that back out. Great effort there by Casey.
Just another display of that ferocity and energy that Samantha Casey plays with.
And here we have Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to pressure against this Averett defense as she goes against De Diego. De Diego. Great tackle there by De Diego to stop Gonzalez from moving forward. As Townsend will go ahead and give the throw in, and it appears Casey is on the floor as our trainers will come out to check up on her. As we have Samantha Casey, the captain, come off for an injury break. And as Emily Swartling, will come in for her, playing center back for Casey. Just waiting on the official's whistle to start back up, and it's going to be a throw in on the far side for Townsend. Townsend sends it over. Swartling tries to control it. Hyvarnen can't get a touch on it. And now Miller cuts back over to Walton. Walton tries to take the shot, and it goes over the crossbar.
A little too much on the effort there by the Bob Jones Bruins on that attack. One of their 5 or 6 attacks of the night. Cougars doing a great job on the defensive side of the ball to not allow their goalkeeper to really be tested.
Absolutely, Shane. But how will they react when they have to deal with Sam Casey now on the sideline instead of back there for them?
That's true, Louise. Have to implement a whole new game plan with their captain on the bench.
Breathen, great effort there as Uhas uses her speed to get away from Tierney. Uhas continues with the ball. Uhas looks for De Diego. Doesn't quite get it there. Great job by Bellotti there to guard De Diego.
Breathen a little too close to De Diego on that effort. Would have been in perfect place to just be able to pick the ball up, but was trailing De Diego. Had to react quick to that one.
As Sanchez throws it into De Diego. A little bit of miscommunication there by De Diego and Breathen, as De Diego's header goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Bruins. As Farr sends it in to Adams. Adams clears it away. Sanchez now headed to Peters, as Peters appears to have moved into the center back position, pushing Swartling to the left side. And Breathen sends the ball over to De Diego. De Diego trying to pressure against Bellotti. Bellotti sends it out, clearing away some pressure from De Diego. And the captain, Sam Casey, is back on the field as Swartling goes back to the sideline.
So not much the Cougars really had to deal with there. While Casey was off the field, definitely glad to see her back and able to be in action for the Cougars still.
Peters chasing the ball on the far side, trying to keep it in bounds as Peters goes for a through by Varnon. A little too much pressure, a little too much strength behind that ball there as it goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Cougars definitely need to clean up a little bit in the passing department if they want to be able to piece up a goal here soon.
And Townsend will take her step off the field. And Cummings will come in for her as Peters will take a step behind and take the right back position from Townsend. Now Gonzalez with the ball against Miller. Miller passes it over to Walton. Walton dribbles up, takes space, sends a cross in over, calls an offside by the lineman. Very dangerous positioning for the Cougars to be in.
Cronin, after the fact, scooped that ball up with no pressure applied to her. Glad to see her calm and composed in goal.
Now the pass to Breathen rolls out of bounds for the Bruins as Farr will throw it in, and here comes Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to get away from pressure. Great dribble by Gonzalez. Gonzalez sends a beautiful ball over to Walton as Walton will chest that down and has two defenders in front of her trying to look for an opening as Casey, who just entered the game, boots it away for a clear.
Yeah, so the Bob Jones Bruins on the throw-in there after Casey cleared that one out. Looked a little shaken up, but was just fixing her socks. Good sight to see if you're a fan of this Cougar squad.
Breathen clears it away as Miller receives it. Pass it to Hartzler now as Hyvarnen trying to look for an opening over to Breathen. Breathen, great job there to make sure that Cummings doesn't get to it first. Now Juhas going the other way. Juhas has the speed. Juhas goes, dribbles around, trying to look for open space. Juhas cuts back, looks for De Diego. De Diego takes care of the ball over to Sanchez, and it's going to be called offsides by the linesman. That was a great effort there by the Cougars to try to force something.
Yeah, controversial offsides call there by the referee. Big break there for that Bruins defense.
Breathen over to De Diego. De Diego turns with the ball. De Diego looks. De Diego cuts through, and the ball will be cleared out by Adams. And the ball will jump over Sanchez's head, and it will be a throw-in from about the 50, about halfway for the Cougars. Vigor comes in, checks in for Sanchez, trying to give her some relief there as the ball goes back out of bounds, but this time for Bob Jones. Bob Jones, Jane Farr sends it in to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has the space, has the time, sends it across the field to Peters. Peters tries to take space very quickly there as Hartzler tries to make an attacking motion, but Casey was there perfectly in time to boot it out for the clear.
15 minutes and counting left in this second half between the Averett University Cougars women's soccer team and the Bruins of Bob Jones University. Both teams still hungry to get that first goal of the game and be able to build the momentum for their squads.
Juha is such a great player with the ball at her feet. She understands the game very well. She understands that she has to look behind her shoulder and kind of move away from pressure. She's very good with both the left and the right foot, and she can get that pass away to any of her teammates as Bob Jones now moving upfield, and that will be Sylvia Cummings on the left wing against Sanchez. Cummings cuts in. Gonzalez may have an opening. The ball rolls safely over to Crones. Crones picks it up and waits a good minute before booting it over to Uhas. Uhas fights against Miller. Now Hartzler. Hartzler looking for Walton. Booted away from Peters. Now Miller again. Finds Cummings. And Crones again scoops it away and recovers the ball for the Cougars. Now Breathen taking the ball, looking for space. Farr giving her that top side, letting her go away. Peters intercepts that ball by High Varnon.
The lack of pressure there on Breathen, just kind of letting her make the decisions a little concerning. Seeing what these Bob Jones Bruins have planned on the Cougars' attack so far, as they've really been suffocating the Bruins' defense.
It's going to be a throw-in on the far side for Peters. Peters sends it in, looking for Barrett. Barrett tries to head it over, but Peters was there. Now Miller, great turn to get away from Uhas. Gonzalez, great little move to get away from Casey. Takes a shot. Crones easily recovers that one.
Bob Jones with another long shot this match. Haven't really seen too much from inside the box from them, but
it appears they're getting desperate, Shane. They're taking a lot of risky shots and just trying to get a couple on goal, possibly just trying to test the keeper Crones.
A couple of them haven't looked so bad, though, either, so it's a great job by Crones to not let herself get surprised and be ready at all times.
Smith takes a bad pass, secures it for Averett, as Hartzler will now get to that.
Uhas once again on the ball, just a menace.
And Tierney tries to give it over to Hartzler, but Hartzler just couldn't get there. De Diego now with fancy moves. High Varnon now in open space. Bellotti trying to give her some pressure. High Varnon, good little turn by High Varnon, but Bellotti easily secures that ball there. Peter pushes that right side of the field. Looks for Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes a wild touch. Casey is quickly there to stop her motion going forward. As Gonzalez tries to hold on to the ball, moves away from Casey. Casey couldn't quite get behind that. As Gonzalez passes it over to Walton. Walton on the right side with Miller in the middle. Walton goes, passes it over, as Sanchez intelligently pushes it away from the net, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Bruins here with about 10:40 to go in the second half.
One of the few times you're going to see Samantha Casey get beat on the ball. See how vital it is to that Cougars defense, as Lucia Sanchez was by herself there in the box and had no option other than to just clear the ball for a corner.
And it's going to be a corner here for the Bruins as it is sent in high, hits the top of the net, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Cougars as Williams and Lindstrom will come in. Williams will come in for High Varnon, and Lindstrom will come in for Barrett.
Great effort by the two players that just got subbed off for the Cougars. Been key pieces in all facets of the game for them tonight.
Sanchez takes the ball on the wing over to Vigouroux. Vigouroux, a little too much power behind that pass, but it's no problem. Far for the Bruins. Doesn't quite get the touch she wants on that, and it's going to be a throw-in. Now Uhas. Tierney. Vigouroux now loses it. Sanchez now lets it roll out from that muffled pass from Hartzler. Now Sanchez over to Breathen. Great job by Breathen to get away from that pressure. Now Breathen over to Juhas. Juhas rolls. Great pass to De Diego, but just can't get it there. Now Tierney looks over, trying to get it to Hartzler. Hartzler sends a through ball, but Casey's there quickly to recover that one, excuse me. Now Juhas. Juhas has the time. Juhas has space. Takes a wild touch there, and Farr is there to recover, but Breathen is right behind her. Now De Diego has some time, has some space, looks for Breathen. Breathen looking to send it in. Goes right over the heads of both Peters and Williams there. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Cougars. Or, I'm sorry, for the Bruins.
Yeah, Breathen started that with a great turn there, creating the space, giving it to Juhas, who has a great first touch, has really shown that all day today, not letting too many balls get away from her. But Breathen just sailing that over Williams, not what you want to see with the time winding down in this game, less than 10 minutes.
As Emily Walton will go ahead and take a seat for the Bruins, and Ellie Cummings will come on for her. And Hartzler will also go ahead and take a seat for the Bruins. As Van Dudewoord will Caroline Hartzler will come in for the game. The ball goes back to Crones. Now Smith has space, has time. Finds Vigouroux in the middle. Vigouroux possibly going for Breathen. A little bit of competition there by Farr and Breathen there. Now a bit of communication error there by Cummings. Now Sanchez going right back the other way. Sanchez with Cummings down behind her. As De Diego tries to go against 4 defenders, doesn't quite get the outcome she wants, but Breathen now chases. Great little spin there. A bit of miscommunication there as Hartzler recovers that ball from the Cougars.
Yeah, if you're going to have miscommunication, that's kind of where you want to have it. Not in a really vital part of the field, but great passing there by the Cougars, opening up the space for Williams now.
Williams on the far side takes a wild touch there as Peters contests that. Peters now boots it away for the clear. As Gonzalez now has the ball at midfield. Sends a through ball in as it's a 50-50 ball between Crones and Hartzler there. As it was a beautiful ball sent in by Gonzalez, but Crones was luckily there in time to clear it away. Farr now sends it in to Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes a wild shot from way deep. And just above the bar, not really testing Crones from that far out. Gonzalez trying to make a last-minute effort to try to put the Bruins on the board.
Yeah, yet another long shot put up by the Bruins, just trying to catch Crones off guard, but not able to really do much there on that effort.
As Arrowwood, seen in the first half, comes into the second half for Cummings. Now Sanchez boots it away as Hartzler tries to send it back to Adams. Cummings, now Adams. Adams trying to send it up. Sanchez recovers that. Smith with a bit of a fumbled touch there. Sends it over to Crones. Crones over to Casey.
With not really much going on, with only 5 minutes left in the game, you kind of wonder if they really want to get that goal in the back of the net, or if they're going to settle for the tie here. And that goes for both squads. Not much of the pressure that was really being applied that first half. See if they can turn on the Jets or pick up the momentum.
And Remy Vigouroux will come off come off the field and onto the sideline for Maddie Pedraza. And Pedraza will take the place in the midfield as Diego tries to pressure that back line for the Bruins as the Bruins go back the other way with the counterattack. On the far side. And Casey boots that away from Cummings on the far side. Now Gonzalez with the ball against Casey. Casey with a great slide tackle there to stop the initial motion forward from Gonzalez. Gonzalez has been a really big key part for this Bruins offense, taking multiple shots against Crohn's.
Yeah, I've been hearing her name a lot for the Bruins tonight on the offensive side of things. See if she's going to be the one that gets her name on the score sheet here in this matchup.
As the ball will roll out, and Arrowwood will go secure that for the throw-in. Oh, it's going to be a throw-in for the Cougars as Sanchez throws it in to Smith. Smith passes it over to Crohn's. Crohn's looks, finds Peters on the far left side. As Peters looks for Lindstrom, doesn't quite get it there. And the ball will go out for a Cougar throw-in. Now Peters to Lindstrom. Lindstrom takes a touch. And now Miller for the Bruins will run up the other way. Gonzalez has open space. Gonzalez takes a shot. Another shot over the bar for Gonzalez, trying to make a last-minute effort for the Bruins to try to get him on the board here.
Yeah, it really looks like those Bruins are trying to catch Crohn's off guard once again. Maybe one or two shots from inside the box for them, but scary positioning there as the hand was used for the Bruins, so it's going to be a free kick here for the Cougars.
Now Breathen trying to make a last-minute effort with only 2 minutes left on the clock. Breathen with the speed. Breathen upfield. Breathen trying to make a chance created for Averett, and the ball will roll behind the net for the Bruins. And the Bruins now with some pace. Bellotti now with the ball behind. Over to Farr. Farr back to Adams. Adams with a bit of pressure on her from Diego. Now Sanchez. Over to Diego. Diego takes a touch. Diego tries to get away from Adams. Great move there by Diego. Over to Juhas. Juhas has open field. Juhas gets stuffed up by Bellotti. Bellotti now to Farr. Breathen now as Arrowwood against Sanchez. Sanchez tries to keep the ball in, but it goes out. A lot of action here late in this second half from both teams as Smith trying to hold on. Sends it back to Crohn's. Crohn's has time with only 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Sends it over to Casey.
Cougars need to be on the prowl here with not much time left. The attack has looked good all night. Don't let it be for nothing as Juhas is a little shaken up after that touch there.
Might be a bit of a pulled calf or possibly a hamstring for Juhas there. But she will remain in the game for the next 50 seconds or so as Peters moves up the field for the Bruins as Smith intercepts that pass going towards Gonzalez and boots it out for the throw-in for the Bruins. Gonzalez goes to receive that ball now. Sends it over. And cross is quickly recovered by Crohn's. Now Crohn's pushing her whole team forward. And it appears the ref has asked for a sub as Juhas, who seemed a little shaken up earlier, goes out and takes a seat, takes a last-second rest for the Cougars as Minafo will now step in for her with only 26 seconds left, and the Piers are going to change that as well. And now it's going to be 32 seconds on the clock with still 0-0 as Crohn's boots it up, looking for Pedraza. Pedraza against Hartzler as Gonzalez tries to move away from pressure. Ball gets loose. Gonzalez now sends it up. Now Peters one-on-one here with the speed against Cummings. and Cummings tries to whip it in, and with the time winding down, it's going to be a 0-0 tie match between both the Cougars and the Bruins here.
Yeah, great effort by both teams all around. You can see the exhaustion out of some. A grueling 0-0 matchup between the two teams, but a lot of action as well. So, my name is Shane Micko, and alongside me is Luis Martinez, and we will be back here on the Averett Sports Network another night.